Yo, stalker much? Come on, seriously? Bit less sounds maybe for you guys. Stop looking at me! I'm sure you're one of those hippie protesting because I'm burning trees. I mean, why are you so serious? Die! Die! Alright, bonjour à tous, Battosay here, welcome to episode 37 of my Let's Play. We're in the Nether, as you probably heard a lot of time. We're gonna spend several episodes in here. And, well, I just burned down that tree to collect a bit of bloodwood sapling, because that's the most efficient way to do that. As you can see, from a single tree I got 25, because I'm gonna use 25 saplings, which is cool. Trying to figure out which pattern the tree is gonna get when it grows. So far I've grown 3 or 4 and they have all grown differently, so I don't know. Also the problem, as you can see, is that when I burn down the tree, some logs won't burn and will stay up there. But I found that when the next tree grows and I burn the next tree, most of it will be burned down as well, so not so much of a problem. But which bothered me is that I wanted to use... Oh crap. Why are you shooting at me? Where is he shooting at? What the fuck? Okay, so looks like we got a ghast somewhere. That's pissed. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Not cool. Not cool at all. Okay. Where is he? What the fuck? Asshole. Asshole! What the fuck? Seriously? Okay. Why did I add the gas shooting through here? And I have no gas at all. Okay, sure, that makes sense. A lot of sense. Damn. Ah, seriously? I hate you, fucking asshole. Anyway. So, one of the problem with here, as you just saw, is that when there's no tree, the ghast can spawn. Usually it doesn't happen because I just come here, burn the tree, collect the saplings, plant the new tree, and move back to the main part of the nether base. But yeah, first time I actually have a ghast that's burned inside, which is really annoying. Okay, let's fix that. Good. And I still haven't figured out where the hell the other one was shooting from. Because he started shooting at me without even seeing me. That's weird. Anyway, yeah, I was saying we're gonna use the ibachis and the lens to more easily burn down the leaves later, but I still haven't figured out a good pattern to do that. So far the only place where the leaves have grown every time is right here in the middle and right here in the middle, which is precisely where I didn't want it to place the batches. I wanted to do that in the corners, but so far there doesn't seem to grow much in the corners, so I'm gonna have to do something different, which sucks a little bit. Seriously, here too? Come on. So the plan for today, actually, oh, in the previous episode I said that we're gonna make the RG stuff together, and I have a Ghast right here. Cool. Awesome. Seriously, never had that happen before. How could he spawn in such... that's really not the... Okay, he's above. Oh yeah, that's because since I haven't finished the building, there's some space. Let's not get there. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna do the tutorial for the the thing I can go to show you because there's a Ghast for the Rube Goldberg Solar Factory. The RGSF, more easy to say. Over here, I'm gonna do a separate tutorial video. That's probably gonna take 2 or 3 parts to do it all, because not all of you want to follow a tutorial on how to make that. So since I've already started to make the first part for that, I'm just gonna keep making that separate videos. That's gonna be, I think, more interesting for you guys who don't want to see that. Otherwise you wouldn't have any episodes for a long period, which sucks. Anyway, so I really want to kill him, but he's probably gonna destroy a lot of stuff. Let's not take that risk. Okay, so since we're not gonna do the tutorial for that today, I'm gonna show you something new I came up with. So we are just above the Bloodwood farm, which is over here, and actually that's why I wanted to take some Bloodwood sapling, because they all ran out of Bloodwood. As you can see, I have a huge amount of Bloodwood waiting in the dispenser to be collected. So that setup is working really well so far. That's really impressive when you spend some time in the Nether, and as long as you have enough Bloodwood saplings to supply the dispensers, well, that's working. That's just amazing. There's that in pretty much all of the dispensers around, and I still have one chest here and one full chest of Bloodwood back at home. So that's awesome. And lately I came up with a new design to deal with all of that wood. So we are gonna have some saw setup right here. That was where I had some bloodwood before, and a whole bunch of hoppers to collect the bloodwood saplings, but since now we have a building fully dedicated to this task, I don't need that here, and I've decided to do something different. And I really like the thing I came up with. That's a small modular design that can deal with a maximum of 16 stacks of wood that will work automatically, which means that when you come, you just place as much wood as you want. You press the button and it will start making the wood as long as there's some wood left in it. It has a built-in safety to turn it off when it runs out of wood. As you'll see, no more wood, it will automatically shut itself off. And also we have a piston that is behind the red wool here that collects the wood that might end up on top of the glowstone, because the problem with the saw, do I have one on me? Yeah, is that there's a small gap where the blade is, and actually the item can fall into this small gap. So if you're not careful, you lose a lot of drops. So if I have the red wool one block closer to me, like that, the planks, the moldings, whatever, will end up on top of the red wool and would get lost, which pretty much sucks. So yeah, that's the design. All of the wood goes into a hopper below that get the drop into a chest, and that's relatively small because it starts at this pedestal here and stop at this one. So yeah, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 block wide, and from the diamond block here to the bottom, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 block. So 7 by 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I. So relatively small given what it can make. And we're gonna make one together because that's really easy to do that. So let's start over here. So first you need a 3 high space, so 1, 2, 3. Under that you have the hopper, then our 3 air block, above that the detector facing down. Over here we have our block dispenser, placing the wood right below the detector. And over here we are gonna have the saw that will cut the block placed by the block dispenser. Down here we have a hopper and a chest, so we are gonna have our main gearbox to supply the mechanical power. That's gonna be here with 4 blocks before the hopper. So if I place my gearbox just over here, I have 3 axles between the 2 gearbox. Actually, I'm gonna place one more gearbox in the middle because we are gonna do something with a turntable later. Let's go above. Let me just place some blocks over here so that I could go up there like so, and over here. So above here, let's place that so I could walk. Over here we have our block dispenser and the block detector. So to power the block dispenser, we are gonna place 1 block above and some redstone that's gonna power the block dispenser below. To extract the signal from the block detector, we're gonna place some redstone here, and we are gonna need some blocks all around the saw to prevent the item to go everywhere, so just like that. And we also need 1 block above, just like that. After that we are gonna take our signal from the block detector with a 4 tick delay, and we are gonna send it. Let's just remove this one for now. We are gonna send it into a torch, and we are gonna connect that to our block detector. This way, every time the dispenser places a block, it turns on, and when the block is cut by the saw, the signal turns off, which turns back on the torch and allows the block dispenser to place a new wood block. So that's the only thing you have to do for having an automated block dispenser, placing your wood in front of a saw. Let's just connect the saw so I can show you actually. So to connect my saw, I'm gonna do that from here, from the back. Place 2 axles, and then I'm gonna take some mechanical power from above over here, and there we go. And this way the block detector places the wood which gets cut, and when there's no more block, it turns itself off on its own. The problem, as I mentioned already, first let me just place icon from downstairs. Okay. The problem is that I could lost some drops that might end up where the glowstone is. So to prevent that, I'm gonna use a sticky piston. No, not here. That's gonna push the red wool block just there. So I'm gonna go here and place the sticky piston just behind. No, not like that. No. Just like that, so that it pushes the red wool over here. And after that, if you want to do something really simple, you can just simply connect the signal from the detector to the piston. So if you do something like that, you would end up with something that would work relatively correctly. The only problem is that you would have the piston. No, actually I can't. I haven't connected that yet. You would have the piston that would move for every wood block, just like that. And the problem you might end up with is that, let me just do something. Sometimes you would end up with the siding falling just here, and if it's on the red wool here, a bit further just in front of the detector here, it would clog the system, because the detector would remain powered as long as the item would be here. So it can be jammed up, it's not completely reliable, and also it's a bit of a performance hit, because every 2 or 3 seconds you're placing a block, cutting it, pushing a block with a piston, retracting it. That's a lot of redstone pulses occurring in the same moment. So the bad computers might have some problem with that. Which is why I came with something a little bit different. And that's using a turntable to send the pulse to the piston. So what will happen is that whenever I place some blocks, some wood in the block dispenser, and I press the button, it will turn a flip-flop, which is, let me show you, just here. So when I press the button which is behind the green wool here, it turns on the block dispensers, and it also, oh crap, okay, place that back, and it also switches the state of this flip-flop. The flip-flop powers this torch, oops, bloodwood farm below. This torch powers the gearbox here, well, the flip-flop powers the torch, which powers the turntable, and the turntable has a buddy block on top of it that will send a pulse into the piston. I choose to use the third setting, so that's 1 pulse every, what is it? 3, 4, 9? Yeah, 9 or 10 seconds, I think. And this way, that's not so much of a performance hit, you don't have too much piston pulses. And I've also added an automated shutdown. So that's the small part, and actually I have the theory here, so I'm gonna show you that part. The plan was that whenever the how do you say that? The combo from the block dispenser and the block detector are working. When there's wood in it, it makes some sort of a redstone clock actually, because that's sending a pulse every X amount of time. And what I wanted to happen is that when the clock turns off, this torch would turn back on and would go into a monostable circuit to send a pulse. So I would have a pulse that would happen when there's no more redstone loop, which means that there's no more wood in the dispenser, which means that the process can stop. And with this pulse, I can turn back off the turntable so that I won't have any mechanical power going on when I don't want it to, because when there's no more wood, there's no reason for the turntable to be still powered. So what I came up with is something fairly simple. I have my redstone loop here, which represents the pulse from the block detector that goes into this little sink that keeps the torch powered even if every now and then this part gets unpowered, because what happened is that here it's delayed and it's powering this block. So when this part gets unpowered, this part remains powered and it prevents the torch to turn back on. And when I would not have any wood left, I would have a pulse, just as you saw, represented by the piston here, because it would allow the torch to turn back on, and then the torch goes into a monostable circuit and send my pulse. And so that's what I used in my design, but in a slightly compact version. So that's the big first idea, and that's the small version using the body block and the light block to compact it a little bit. And what happens is that that's my pulse from the detector. It goes into the pulse lengther over here that does the same thing as this one, prevents the torch to turn back on. Except here I've used a light block in combination with the body block. This way, whenever I start the process by pressing the block dispenser button, it will also turn on the flip-flop for the piston timer. I called it the piston timer. So you can see it over here. It's gonna turn it on. And since there's no wood block inside, it's gonna turn it off shortly after. I destroyed a painting here. Crap. Always takes forever to get the right one. Ah, crap. Missed it. Okay. Give me my painting. No. I hate that system with the paintings. It's so stupid. Come on. Ah, yes. Give me that, give me that. Good. Okay. So, to build it, let's get back to our building part. So for now, we just have the detector connected to the dispenser. After that, we are gonna maybe first connect the button. So I want a button to manually turn on and off the flip-flop for the piston timer in case of something goes wrong or for whatever reason, just because I can actually have it. It's easy to place it. I want one button that when I press it will place the first wood block, which will start the redstone loop. And I want one button to manually press the piston, because also that's easy to do. The most important one, the only one that's really needed, is this one. So what I do for this button, you don't need the snow over here actually. I have a torch that goes from the red wool, powers the snow block here, which powers this torch. Now let's go above. Crap. Let's go above. Over here. Then the torch is gonna power this block here, which will power this torch here, which will power the block here, and which will power the torch here. And this way I can, let's place just one, place the block from this signal. So that's what I want to start the process. And after that, let's get to this one. So here I want my auto shutdown mechanism. That's made like that. You take your signal from the block detector. Then I have two repeaters, one on 4, one on 2, so that's a 6 tick delay powering a block, and again 4 and 2, so that's 6. That goes into a redstone line here. So this way, let's put like 8. As long as there's some block in the block dispensers, the redstone here will remain powered, because even when the signal turns off here, it remains powered thanks to the repeater here. So after that, what I'm gonna do is use some tricks with the light blocks and the buddy block. So the buddy block will send a pulse every time the light block turns on. It sends a pulse, and when it turns off. And I'm gonna use that pulse for the flip-flop, which I have to do right now. So for the flip-flop, I'm gonna do it like that. That's the block where the button is. That's gonna go towards this block here. Then I'm gonna extract the power using a repeater, because I can't place redstone here, but I can get the power like that. If you place the redstone on top of a block and the repeater like that, you get the redstone signal. Then this signal will go into a block with a torch on the side and another block above it. Then I place my dispenser. I'm gonna use the flip-flop dispenser, the dispenser flip-flop, because that's the most compact one, and I place the redstone on top of it. And inside it, I place one full block and one non-full block. So the axle works, but you can use glass or all sorts of stuff. Let's actually remove that because I want to show you how it works. To extract the power from the flip-flop, I'm gonna use a repeater, because let's switch it. You can extract the power from a block. Oops. If you have a powered redstone on the side that powers the block, and then you take a repeater. If you do it like that with the redstone and again redstone, it doesn't work. You need a repeater here. This way, when I have, actually that was sandstone. When there's power, this way you can extract it, but you can't with just a redstone wire. So my signal goes into a block over here, then powers the redstone on the side, then powers the block here, and then powers the torch just there. And that's where we are gonna place our turntable for the piston timer. Just above this torch, like that, like that. The turntable here, I want it on the third setting. If you use it in combination with the body block to get a pulse out of it, you need to place a block below, otherwise it's gonna also send a pulse when the turntable gets powered or not, which is not what you want. And then we take that pulse from the body block and we take it down towards the piston. So if I power this block, it will power the piston over here, like that. I'm running out of redstone, crap. Yep, good. Okay, now we connect that with a repeater at 4 to make sure that the piston extends for long enough. Yep. And after that we're gonna add the automated shutdown, so that pulse will have to go towards the flip-flop, and the flip-flop, well, that's towards this block. If I send the power to this block, it will turn off the torch just here, which will unpower the redstone and will switch the block that's in front of the block dispenser. So I just connect it like that on the side, and also I'm gonna add something to make sure that all of the wood ends up in the hopper, and that's a last pulse. So let's just put 3, and if you watch closely you'll see that when the last block has been placed by the block dispenser, the piston extends one last time before shutting off. That's always what happens, even if there's nothing inside. When it turns on, the piston extends, and when it turns off, the piston extends. That's to make sure that the last wood block that has been cut doesn't land on the glowstone and get wasted. And to do that, I'm simply gonna also take that signal from the body block, like that. This way I can power the block here and the redstone behind it, like that. And I can send my signal to the wood block here, which will also power the piston. This way now. Let's turn off the turntable. You can see it from here. So if I start it, when I'll start it, I'm gonna press the green wool button. That's gonna power the torch here, here, all the way up to the torch here that powers the block dispenser that will place the first wood block. After that, that's gonna start the loop over here. The signal will also goes into the automated shutdown. It will, when the first wood block is placed, it will turn on the light block here, which will send a pulse from the body block. The pulse will go to the piston, even if it's useless. That's just something that happened because I need that, even if it's not really necessary, because otherwise I won't have the pulse when the last wood block happen. So that's just a pulse that does nothing. So the pulse goes to the piston, but more importantly goes to the flip-flop, and then it turns on, it changes the states of the flip-flop, turns on the turntable here, so the body block starts moving on the turntable, and it sends a pulse every 10 seconds or so into the piston to make sure I don't waste anything. And after that, if I want, I can even add a light block that's gonna tell me when the turntable is on or off. That's not really necessary, but I found an easy way to do that. So the signal from the flip-flop goes to the repeater and into this block. So if I place a torch here, that's gonna be connected to the flip-flop. If I place another torch above, that's gonna well, give me the same signal as the flip-flop because it was inverted so far. And then after that I can place some block over here to power my light block. Here I want to be careful because that's the block used to carry the pulse from the button, so the block is powered, so I don't want to use redstone here, but a repeater. Same thing here, I don't want to use redstone because that's next to the body block, and that would mean that the light block would receive the pulse from the body block. That's not what I want. So I'm gonna use a repeater here that powers the block, which powers the redstone behind it. And this way, when I change the state of the flip-flop, it's gonna change the light signal here. And when I turn it off, it turns off. And now everything's working perfectly. If there's nothing inside, it will turns on and turns off automatically. When you place your wood inside, you just press the green button. It will start to make all of the wood you want. And when there's no more wood, turns itself off. And this way you don't have any redstone pulse going on when that's finished, which is a great thing if you have a bad computer. Even if that's not my case anymore, I'm still thinking about the mass of you guys that have crappy computers, and it seems that there's a lot of you actually. And that's pretty much it, I think. Let's close that. The last thing you want to add is some glass in front here to prevent the wood to fall on top of the chest over here. Then I'm gonna fill this in over here.